I'm just going to provide an overview of teaching and a model that I've looked at over the last 10 years while teaching this course. And these are the key features that I would emphasize in the first term. So you start out with content. In this case, it's mathematical content, and you're going to teach something, some sort of content. And then you need to consider pedagogy, or the teaching strategies that are best for teaching that particular content, and consider the tools, both technology and manipulatives in the case of mathematics, that would be appropriate for teaching that specific content. So these are tightly interconnected: content, pedagogy, and tools, and you need to consider them all together when figuring out the best approach to teaching a particular concept. Now, in order to find the strategies and tools and content, you need to be resourceful, be able to look on the web and find key resources and websites. Also consider books and your community, the mathematics community and the education community, as a source for guidance in terms of strategies and tools that would be best to teach that content. And once you've decided on that, you need to then organize and plan a lesson. And that's critical. If the lesson isn't well planned and organized, it can falter and not come out the way you thought it did, even though you had a good idea in terms of teaching strategies and tools. And this is very common for beginning teachers. So once you have your lesson planned, you deliver the lesson, and then it's not over yet. Of course, you assume it all went well, but it's a good idea to check with students in terms of their performance and perhaps their attitudes about the lesson and get feedback. And so you start to reflect, and you reflect on the feedback and what you observed in the lesson. And then you also consider whether it was well organized and planned, or whether there were improvements that you could have done. And then you consider maybe you need to take a look at your resources again, or consult your community for advice about how the lesson went, and perhaps alternative strategies or tools that you could use. And once you've reflected on this, you can start the process over, and with the new content, taking into account the reflections that you've had about the lesson and the previous lesson, and trying to improve it. And that's the cycle of teaching teaching in general, but for our course, teaching in mathematics.